The Hunt. ¡Ey, perdón!
For this third and final deleted level, what we call the boar hunt sequence, this was a sequence pretty late in the game. It was right after the whole Seattle Abby sequence where Abby spares Ellie. And then we wanted to come back into Ellie's story, but keep it a bit mysterious of how much time has passed, where is Ellie now? So we're coming in on Ellie, and she's following a trail of blood. And we wanted to mirror, in a way, the deer hunt sequence from the first game, but this time do it with a boar. And there's something with Ellie that now she can't let go of this violence. She's pursuing it, even against this innocent animal. This was another opportunity to show how the violence that Ellie has experienced, the violence that she witnessed being afflicted onto Joel, is still sticking with her, and she's still experiencing these PTSD moments. This was a sequence that was pretty far along and was cut pretty late in production. Parts of it are still really rough, but the gameplay, the building blocks were all there.
¡Tira!
I think you'll have fun to see, like, again, a rough, unfinished sequence that you can play. You can see all the way to the end, and including a cinematic that we end up cutting. And the remnants of the sequence ended up being mentioned in Ellie's journal. So this part of the story that we developed still made its way into the game as kind of optional stuff that you could read about, but here you get to experience it. So as a reminder, this is pretty rough, months away from being finished, but you get to see it now.
Bueno, pero algo es algo, dijo un calvo.
¿Dónde estás?
O sea, hubiéramos venido aquí directamente después de lo del teatro. Por lo que he interpretado las palabras de Neil, hubiéramos venido aquí directamente sin saber de dónde estábamos, directamente desde el teatro.
So the boar hunt was one of the hardest levels for me to work on. It was a huge challenge with the systems that we had, and we kept trying, but it
Nunca
never
quedaba
felt
del
quite
todo
right.
bien.
Originally, the level happened after the Jackson Festival, which also got cut, but before Farm.
Antes de la
Once the
granja.
festival got cut, it became the prologue to Farm.
Esto
The
será el
intended
prólogo de la
experience is
granja.
that we jump forward in time after the fight with Abby in the theater. We don't know where Dina is. We likely assume she's dead. 'cause
Justo
she's
después
just
de la
bleeding
pelea
out.
del teatro.
Ellie is alone. Her hair is short. So maybe this is the future or the present. And she's hunting. Hunting who? Abby still?
Hubiéramos venido directamente del teatro aquí y nos hubiéramos quedado en plan, ¿qué está pasando? ¿Qué es esto? ¿Hacia dónde vamos? Y evidentemente seguir el rastro de sangre. Había una piedra, había aquí. El escenario es amplio. No sé si ahí habrá algún tipo de comentario. Imagino que no. Habrá un globo aquí que diga...
¿He perdido la pista?
He perdido la pista. ¿Veis cómo hay doblaje? Aquí habría un comentario de... Gilipollas, Joan, déjate buscar por aquí que no hay nada. Pero claro, estos son los alrededores de la granja. Pero sin saberlo. Pues a ver, sigamos la pista. Un poco sensaciones, un poco vibra del ciervo de parte 1, sí. Sí que hay vibra, sí. Vale.
In early iterations of the fight, it was more arena-like. The player slowly whittles down the boar's health.
Anda, coño.
Ellie gets more visceral and more vicious. We get a little worried about her. As the boar gets weaker, more panicked, more feral, and we start feeling sympathetic to the boar, was the hope. In all of these iterations, especially of these wider areas, it required
Adaptar la
custom
IA y el guión
AI
para
and
que siguiera actuando
scripting
como
to make
un,
sure it continued to feel organic as an animal,
Claro,
but we
un
really
animal de
needed
verdad.
it to do specific stuff. It needed to be able to close distances really, really quickly. It needed to charge
todo eso se
to
fue a la
attack,
basura, ¿eh?
but we wanted the feeling of hunting, so we needed to track it down from afar. And we also needed to discourage the player from attacking the boar when it's that close, or it would kind of turn into this melee kerfuffle. How do we do this in our world while keeping the boar believable?
Y todo eso se fue a la basura. No me quiero imaginar todo lo que se ha ido a la basura con el multijugador, ¿eh? Pero vamos. El típico momento de por aquí no. El rastro de sangre está aquí. te dan como 3 opciones para ir avanzando, pero todo va para el mismo sitio. Y vamos a parar al momento gameplay del tráiler, ¿no? Que hemos visto varias veces.
We must have gone through 5 or 6 iterations of the boar fight and all, and every single time it changed pretty drastically. We split it into clear phases, where one was like all long range. We tried another where you're getting close and you get the jump on it quite literally. You're jumping off of a rock to attack it. And then finally, we tried a bunch where you almost sort of go around a bunch of trailers and try and wrestle it. We uncovered after some time that taking down a boar over several phases felt very laborious and a little dramatic. It was comically long. It felt too boss-like, a little too gamey. We decided to cut the first few phases, and we opted for a cold open after the boar had already been hurt off screen. So that allowed us to focus on feeling like we're closing in on prey and to introduce the boar when it was at its most dangerous. Already hurt, already feral, much too close for comfort. And so the thinking was it would bring us more into Ellie's mindset. Is this really hunting for food, or is she hunting for some other reason?
¿Está cazando por supervivencia o está cazando para desahogar sus instintos? Y vamos a parar aquí, vamos a parar a una nueva zona de Jackson. Porque se supone que es Jackson. Mountain General Store. Productos frescos, cerveza, vino, helados, recuerdos, tienda de equipo de montaña, reposta aquí. Se supone que no estamos lejos de Jackson. Es que no puedo evitar. Sé que tengo que ir hacia allí, pero no puedo evitar el cotillear. No puedo evitarlo. ¿Se romperá el cristal? Nah, no creo. No, es que directamente no puedo tirar puñetazos. Está todo por acabar, evidentemente. Animaciones del entorno. Vale, no hay ningún secreto. Hay que venir por aquí. El animal herido se ha encerrado ahí dentro. ¿Hay algo por aquí? ¿Había algún tipo de interacción? Hostia, hacía años que no decía ¿hay algo por aquí? En plan, ¿es un territorio nuevo en The Last of Us? Necesito saber qué.
The gas station was built to highlight the boar's destructiveness.
Joder con el jabalí.
Since it's cramped, the boar feels larger. We also feel trapped with it,
que estábamos encerrados con él, aunque quizá esté encerrado con nosotros.
It gets to us quickly, so we must be on our toes.
Hostia, va a haber un combate.
This made it more aligned with Ellie's sort of hunting for trouble mindset. Listening became more important, as well as moving around slowly so it didn't hear you. Yeah. Could you spot it before it saw or heard you? And could you get a shot off quickly enough so you could dodge out of the way? Or is the shot worth the cost after? It feels like a gamble. By the end of the fight, everything would likely be in shambles. The boar would burst through the back, and Ellie would follow it and finally enact revenge.
El jabalí es Abby, ¿no?
Vale. No veo nada. ¡Joder!
Esto es David, ¿eh? Esto es David. Esto es la zona de David, ¿eh? Encerrados con un enemigo. Claro, si vamos agachados no nos va a oír, pero si vamos corriendo la vamos a liar. Soy en las patas. Míralo, está ahí, está ahí, está ahí. Soy en las patas. Y yo quiero pensar que en el momento de combate algunas estanterías se romperían. Te oigo. Te oigo. Oigo las patitas. Está ahí, está ahí, está ahí. Ah, ven por aquí. Te oigo. Hostia, qué guapo habría estado. Sírveme una cervecita si estás en el mostrador. Ponme cuarto y mitad de chope. Ponme 4 y mitad de chope. Y te has vuelto a esconder ahí.
Ya está. No haya dónde ir.
Habría que golpearlo 2 veces o 3 veces para que se metiera en esa habitación. Hostia, pues habría estado muy guapo. Una secuencia así. Joder, hubiera molado lo suyo. Hostia, qué más grande esto. Se ha escondido ahí, en el baño. Hostia, qué guapo. Y lo desarrollado que está, ¿eh?
The boar kill was supposed to be anything but glorious. With the boar whimpering at the back of the gas station after Ellie's relentless hunt. After this, hearing the drone that we kind of come to associate with Ellie's trauma, we would hard cut to the stream where she's washing her hands and holding rabbits that she hunted, about to return to Dina. And there would be no mention of the boar.
O sea, de aquí hubiéramos pasado al momento conejos en la granja. Vale, cabrones. Ellie no está bien. Le recuerda a Joel. Le recuerda a Joel. A Joel en el chalet. Mira, mira, mira.